Here are 5 fat loss mistakes keeping you over 20% body fat. Before this summer, I went from chubby to 6-pack lean, and in this video I will cover the 5 mistakes you need to stop doing if you want to get lean. The first fat loss mistake is eating like a kid. So a few days ago I was having dinner and my uncle said that he was trying to stop junk food and eat better, and I thought that's really good. But then he said, yeah, I'm just gonna make sure I don't have it through the week, but yeah, on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, it's okay. And then my dad, who knows that I'm eating clean and I'm very against junk food, he said like, what do you think about that? I said like, no, you shouldn't do that, because why would you sometimes eat junk food? Why not just cut it out completely? Because it tastes good, because you want to enjoy some food. That's for kids. This is the biggest mistake you're doing. You're eating like a kid. You're eating junk food. Junk food is not for men. Okay if a kid have it, but if you're a man, like, you can't eat things just because it tastes good, because you get some pleasure from it. You need to eat for strength, for energy. You need to eat in a way that makes you feel stronger, make you get your dream body. So stop eating junk food, not even once a week, never, because junk food is super bad. It's the reason why you're fat right now, because you've been eating too much junk food. Junk food like high sugar foods like ice cream, candy, chocolate, fast food like McDonald's, fried chicken, fries, chicken nuggets. All those foods are high in sugar, bad oils, which make you gain fat. Why you're fat right now is probably because you've been eating too much junk food. So just making this one change will make a difference. Stopping junk food. And when you're eating junk food, when you're having that ice cream, that chocolate, that candy, that soda, you're even sacrificing your work. You get sick much more, so you will work worse on those sick days or even skip a whole day. You also have lower energy, worse focus, so you're sacrificing your business and career if you're eating junk food. This one is a game changer. When I stopped junk food myself, I got lean much easier. And the method I used to stop was slowly having it less and less. Because it's hard to just cut it out right away, because you will have cravings, you will want to have that sugar, because sugar is really addictive. So you will want to have that dopamine from that sugar. Once a week, that's what I did. I started having only on Fridays. Did that for a few weeks, then once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. Then after a few months of doing that, I stopped completely. It was hard, it was a bit scary, because I thought, will I miss out? But then I thought, no, I'm missing out right now on being jacked as fuck with a good 6-pack. Switch your mindset to think right now you're missing out on having your dream body, being proud of what you see in the mirror, having abs. Literally, having abs is so fucking great as a man. And remember the first time I got it, couldn't stop smiling when I looked into the mirror. Right now I'm also smiling, and just flexing in the mirror feels amazing. To see your own body like looking great. You're missing out right now on having a body like me. I'm not missing out on eating junk food like you. Get that mindset. I know it's tough, but that mindset will help you stop. This is the first mistake. You're eating junk food. Stop eating junk food. And by the way, I used to pause the video for a second. If you're a busy entrepreneur and you want my help to build muscles, lose fat, and finally feel proud of what you see in the mirror, click the top link in the description and book a free call with me. And on the call we will find out what is holding you back, where you want to go, and then I will give you some free advice, some free tips, and there's no pressure at all whether you join or not. You still get value from it and be able to make more progress in the future. Top link in the description if you're interested. And it's only for busy entrepreneurs. The second mistake is that you're eating like a nerd. So before the summer I started having more protein to my meals. I went from having half of my plate with high protein foods like chicken, beef, eggs, to then 70% of my plate with high protein foods. And that made a difference. When I ate more protein and less carbs, I started losing more fat and I got leaner. And I realized how powerful protein is. I also went on a vacation and I stayed at this hotel where you could eat how much you want. I had just a lot of meat for my lunch, dinner, a lot of eggs to my breakfast, eggs and bacon, the best breakfast ever. And I thought I would gain some fat because I was eating a lot, but I was eating 90% of my meals with high protein foods, and I stayed lean throughout the whole week. So I just realized Eating more protein is so powerful. So the mistake you're doing, you're having a low protein diet, like a nerd. It's those like nerds that think, nah, eat vegetarian food, meat is bad. You don't want to be like them. Like, they don't have a good physique. You want to eat a lot of meat, high protein diet. That's a cheat code for losing fat, and it's actually a very nice thing to do. Eating a lot of meat, it tastes good. I'd rather have a steak than some pasta, some potatoes. Like steak, ground beef, chicken, those foods are great for losing fat because they are high in protein. And protein, it burns calories when our body digests it. It builds muscles, and when we have more muscles, it's easier to lose fat because we burn more calories throughout the day. Then also it keeps us full, so we avoid snacking in between meals, and we don't overeat because it's very easy to overeat if you have a lot of carbs. Right now you probably have 30% of your plates with high protein foods. That's what most people do. It's insane, only 30%, 1/3. So start having 60% at least instead. 60% of your plate should be with meat and eggs. Then only 40% should be with like carbs, veggies, or even less. At least 60% of your plate with high protein food. I had around like 70, 80 a few weeks ago. Now I'm having like 60, 70. That's like that. I have found that to be like the sweet spot for me. But have more protein. Having less than half of your plate with protein is not okay if you want to lose fat. Because if you eat too many carbs, you will also gain fat. So you need to switch like the ratio. So you're really high in protein and low in carbs. Carbs like potatoes, pasta, rice, keep that low. Then high protein foods like steak, ground beef, chicken, fish, keep that high. And meat is just a great food because you also build a lot of muscles from it. And like steak, ground beef, it also boosts your testosterone. And when you have high testosterone, it's easier to lose fat. And it's also good use for your focus and productivity, so you can work better on your business. Before, when I used to eat like a lot of pasta, bread, I was feeling so tired after, and I didn't have good focus. So having a high protein diet will also help you focus on your business work better. This is the second mistake. Stop having a low protein diet, have a high protein diet. 60% of your plates with high protein foods. The third mistake is that you're not consistent. So around a week ago, I was working out with a friend. I've known him for a long time, and I asked him, are you consistent with the gym? And he said, I was it a few weeks ago and I was making a lot of progress, but now I'm not consistent. And I felt like if he had been consistent when he started hitting the gym like 2 or 3 years ago, he would have a great body. He would have like a great body right now. A lot of muscles, lean, like just being in good shape. Because I've heard him say that a lot of times, that he's consistent for a few weeks, but then he falls off and just hit the gym once a week or something, and then go back 4 times, 5 times a week again and builds muscles, but then it falls off. Because we started working out almost at the same time. I started like 4 years ago, he started like 3 years ago, I think. And it's a very big difference, me and him. I have built so much more muscles than him. I have a much better body because I was consistent. If you want to lose fat, you need to be consistent with your workouts, with your walks. You can't be on and off. If you're on and off, you will never make progress. This is one of the biggest things. Almost no one is consistent these days. Just like when you build up your business, it was like consistent work was required. It wasn't that you worked like 10 hours one day, then you built your business. No, like every single day for months, probably years. Start being consistent. Lift weights at least 3 times a week, and then walk for 30 minutes daily. That's a good workout routine. You can follow the workout plan right here. And to be consistent with this, one tip is train at the same time every day. Let's say your walks, you start walking daily, 30 minutes. Then you set a time every day you're gonna walk. For example, 4 p.m. 4 p.m., 30-minute walk. You write that down. Then you start doing that every day. You build up the daily habit. And also with your workouts, say like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, at 6 p.m. Then you know 6 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're gonna hit the gym. You don't plan anything else. No, nothing with family, friends, nothing with your work. That time is for the gym. This is something that has helped me a lot. To just guarantee that you don't miss the workout. And also when you just write it down and decide, you will feel like a bitch if you don't train at that time. Make the commitment, like write down and say like, yeah, I'm a bitch if I skip one of these trainings, one of these like sessions. That will also hold yourself accountable. But this is mistake number 3. Stop being inconsistent and be consistent. It will make a huge difference. The 4th mistake making you stay fat is bad sleep. So I wanted to have a 6-pack for this summer. And yeah, I was a bit chubby before during this winter because I've been only focused on building muscles, getting bigger. But then I wanted to have a 6-pack. I was going on vacation. So I started losing fat. I had a high protein diet. I was eating clean. I started doing some cardio. But 1 week before, I didn't have the perfect 6-pack I wanted. So I asked ChatGPT, okay, I'm lifting weights every day. I'm doing cardio 3 times a week. I'm having a high protein diet. And I'm sleeping 6 hours a day on average. What can I improve? And it said, your sleep, you're only sleeping 6 hours. It's not enough. You need get that up to like 7.5 hours. So that's what I did. I started sleeping like 7 hours, 7.5, even 8 hours the last week before my vacation. And it made a difference. I got a bit leaner just by doing that one change. And also, when I was on the vacation, I was sleeping like 8 hours consistently. And it made a difference. It just felt so easier to stay lean when I did that. So I realized how powerful sleep is. Sleeping more will help you lose more fat. So the mistake you're doing is that you're sleeping less than 7 hours. You're probably staying up, working on your business late, don't have a consistent sleep schedule. So you need to fix that. At least 7 hours a day. That will make a difference. If you're at 5 hours, 6 hours, just get that up to 7 hours. Even 8 hours if you can, but I found for myself 7 hours is a good amount. And I'm still working on my sleep. I'm trying to get it up to like 7.5, 8 consistently. But the thing that has helped me fix my sleep is sleeping at the same time every day, waking up at the same time every day. So I sleep at like, right now is around like 10 p.m, wake up at 5:30. I do that, and then on Saturday, Sunday, I go to bed at like 11 p.m. and wake up at 6:30. But yeah, that's my sleep schedule. But just going to bed at the same times, it makes your body get used to it. So you get tired. So I get tired at like 10 p.m. right now. And then I can wake up with energy at 5:30. Like just getting that routine in is very good. So choose a time, you're gonna go to bed, then wake up, make sure it's at least 7 hours in between. Then you start following it. And another thing that helps with getting better sleep is getting sunlight in the morning. So like in the first 30 minutes, just going out, getting a few minutes of sunlight. That helps your body to like wake up, but also like get tired during the night. So it gets easier to fall asleep. And then the last thing, if you're an entrepreneur, I know it's hard to like go to bed early, you maybe stay up, work. I did that. That was a big problem for me. And I can still like experience sometimes that I stay up working because I have a few tasks in my business that I need to do daily and I need to like complete them. So if I haven't completed them yet, I will stay up to complete them. That's what I needed to fix in order to get more sleep, go to bed earlier, get my important tasks done in the morning. So if it's the same for you, if you're staying up to finish some work, make sure you finish that work in the morning. So at night you don't have anything you actually need to do and you can go to bed on time. That has helped me a lot. Just make sure to have the important business work done when it's time to sleep. I don't need to stay up like 30 minutes or an hour extra to finish it. So that's just about like planning and scheduling. That was the 4th mistake. You're getting bad sleep. Get good sleep at least 7 hours a day. The 5th mistake is that you're eating different meals. So I have had the same breakfast for over 1.5 years. Almost the same, but yeah, at least 4 eggs. I have had that for my breakfast every day for 1.5 years. I have had different things together with it. Sometimes oatmeal porridge for a few months. Then I had like 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. And now I'm having 6 eggs just like that. But yeah, at least 4 eggs. Because I started having that in 2023. And I found out quickly that if I have at least 4 eggs to my breakfast, I get over 24 grams of protein. And I also boost my testosterone, which will help me build muscles and stay lean. So I used to have that same breakfast. I saw the results from it. I got more muscles. I got a better body from having that. I liked it, so I used to have it every single day. And now I just realize, like, having the same meals every day makes losing fat so much easier, because you don't need to think of like what you should eat, or you don't risk eating something that is like more calories than you should eat, and you start gaining fat by that food. If you start having like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, which you see results from, let's say you start eating the same breakfast, lunch meal, same amount of food on the plate for each meal, everything is the same, and you start losing fat. Then you know if you keep on eating like that, you will lose fat. So you just need to keep eating like that. It makes everything easier. So you need to find meals that work, that you can have every day, and then just start following that, having it every day. And it's very good if you're busy. If you're a busy entrepreneur, you're working a lot, because you already know what to eat. It's not that you need to think what you should eat, and you can also prepare it. Let's say to lunch you have ground beef and rice. You can use once or twice a week, make a big amount of it with like ground beef, a few pounds, some rice. Then you just heat it up 5 minutes when you're gonna eat it for lunch. You have the you prepare your meals. You have the same amount, everything. Or if you order it, you just order the same food every day. Order the ground beef, order a steak, like lunch and dinner, breakfast also if you want. But the example is 3 eggs to breakfast, ground beef and rice to lunch, and then steak and potatoes to dinner. If you eat that and you have like 60% of your lunch with ground beef, 60% of your dinner at least with the steak, then the rest of like with the rice, the potatoes, maybe have some vegetables if you want, it's guaranteed. Like that diet plan right there is guaranteed you will lose fat if you follow that and don't have anything in between your meals. Just imagine if you have those meals at the same, like every day at the same time, you just follow it. So much easier than trying different meals, risking like fucking up your diet. So have the same meals every day. I don't know why people even like change their meals. It's stupid. Have the same meals every day makes everything much easier. And make sure they are mainly high protein foods. But this was the 5th mistake. You're changing your meals too much. Just find some meals that work and have them every day. And by the way, if you thought this video was helpful and you're a busy entrepreneur and you want my help to implement all this, you can lose fat faster, easier, without sacrificing your business, and finally be proud of your body, then click the top link in the description and book a free call with me. We will find out where you are right now, where you want to go. I'll give you some free advice for like 20 minutes, and then at the end you will also be able to decide if you want to work with me or not. And whether you join my one-on-one coaching or not, you will still walk away with more clarity and some personal feedback from you, which will help you make more progress. Top link in the description if you're a busy entrepreneur, want my help with losing fat, building muscles. And if you're not an entrepreneur, no worries, you can watch this video right here. My honest advice to someone that wants to lose fat: become Jackpot.